Once you arrive to Copenhagen, you will fast realize that there are so many splendid royal palaces to visit here. We had a hard time deciding which ones should we explore, but I think we made a good decision choosing the next 3 palaces. First one we visited was Christiansborg Palace. This impressive building was once home to king and queens, and today it houses the Danish Parliament, the Supreme Court, and the Ministry of State. Some parts of the palace are used by the Danish monarch, including the royal reception rooms, the palace chapel, and the royal stables. Christiansborg Palace is the only building in the world that houses all 3 of a country's branches of government: the executive power, the legislative power, and the judicial power. The present building is the last in a series of successive castles and palaces constructed on the same site since the erection of the first castle in 1167. From the beginning of the 15th century, the various buildings have served as the base of the central administration until 1794, when they became the principal residence of the Danish kings. After 1849, the palace became the seat of the parliament. Unfortunately, Christiansborg Palace witnessed 2 big fires, the first occurring in 1794 and the second one in 1884. I love visiting royal castles. It always makes me think, how does it feel being born as a member of a royal family, with all the privileges, but also responsibilities that they have to follow? This splendid room is called the throne room, where the queen receives kings, presidents, and ambassadors. The monarch of Denmark is proclaimed from the balcony of this room. The ceremony goes like this. The Denmark's prime minister steps out onto the balcony with the new monarch and proclaims the new king or queen when he or she accedes to the throne of Denmark. Ever since the absolute monarchy was introduced in 1660, every king or queen of Denmark has been proclaimed by the head of government from this palace. The last time a monarch was proclaimed was in 1972, when Margaret II, dressed in mourning, acceded to the throne only the day after her father had died. Although the Queen does not use the thrones, they remain as an historic relic from the period of absolute monarchy, from 1660 to 1848. The King's throne is adorned with the 2 golden lions, and the Queen's throne features 2 gilded mythical creatures called griffons. The thrones were nearly lost when the palace burned down in 1884, but fortunately they were rescued just in time. Like every ordinary family room has a heart, the Christiansborg Palace also has a heart, and that is this room, called the Great Hall. It provides the magnificent setting for the Queen's gala dinners, where state visits take place and evening events are held. The 40-meter long, 15-meter wide, and 10 meters high hall is the largest room in the palace. The hall can accommodate up to 400 guests for banquets. The dining hall is used to host dinners for visiting heads of state and government. For the Queen's Gala dinners in the Great Hall, hundreds of dishes are served on this huge table. The two large crystal chandeliers from the 1800s come from the Royal Palace in Oslo. Spending time in Royal Palace, where there are very little visitors, gives some kind of romantic charm to everything, would you agree? It is the opportunity to stay easier at the present moment and really turn on all the senses to see, hear and feel the atmosphere of the rooms. This next room, the Alexander Room, provides great space for small dinners, lunches, receptions, and visits by members of the Danish Armed Forces during the New Year's Eve. And if only the walls could speak, they would tell the stories about many laughs, chatters, and all the coffee cups that were drank here, while the armed forces would wait to wish the Queen a Happy New Year. The last room is the Queen's Library, the venue for meetings, lunches, and tea parties. I would love to sit and read in a library like this. That was the Christiansborg Palace. Our next stop is Amalienborg Palace. If you love watching jewelry, this is a unique chance for you to see a part of royal jewelry collections. My favorite one was the huge crown, one of the last objects at the exhibition. I will show you later. Until then, just to share with you a few facts about Amalienborg Palace. Located in the heart of Copenhagen, it is a present home of the Danish royal family, one of the oldest monarchies in the world. If you are here at noon, you can also enjoy the changing of the royal guards. Beside the jewelry, the museum also presents the private interiors of the most recent kings and queens. The part which I was the most looking forward to. I forgot to mention to you, the ticket price for Amalienborg Palace, as well as for Christiansborg Palace, is 95 Danish crowns, or almost 13 euros. Oh yeah, this is the crown that I talked about. Beautiful piece. After the jewelry exhibition, we took a tour of the private royal rooms. Some parts of the private rooms are behind the protective glass. And there are so many nice little things and details to notice here. Like these old photos. Or painting materials, little mirrors, books, things from all over the world. You can really get a taste of how each royal member had a different personality. Great journey through royal family time. This great hall room is still used by the royal family for representative purposes. The last palace we will visit today is located in the King's Garden, surrounded by trees and ponds, and it is called Rosenborg Castle. The ticket for this castle is a bit pricier, 125 Danish crowns or almost 17 euros, but definitely worth visiting. It was built by one of the most famous Danish kings, Christian IV, in the 17th century, and features 400 years of royal treasures. There are so many attractions to see in this castle, like King's private writing cabinet, collection of paintings, and so much more. We came to the end of our Copenhagen Palaces tour. Thank you, my friends, for joining me. Please share with me in the comments which palace you would like to visit the most. Till then, see you in the next video.